Skeleton Crew Episode 3, now out. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Episode 3 of Skeleton Crew, the newest Star Wars show, is now out on Disney Plus for you guys to go and check out. And look, I'm gonna be honest, when I first heard about this project and saw and everything like that, I was kind of like, oh, here we go. We're gonna probably get another dud Star Wars project here that no one kind of wanted to see or anything like that. It's probably got some good ideas in that, but poor execution. So I was not very pumped for it. I haven't been pumped for a lot of Star Wars things except for Andor Season 2 recently because of just the quality and everything. But I sat down and watched episodes 1 and 2 that you can go check out now, and I actually enjoyed it. And, you know, cool ideas. Space pirates. Who doesn't like that idea? So I was kind of excited to watch episode 3. Now that I've watched episode 3, I'm actually enjoying the direction of this show and where it's going and what the potentials of it could be. Now, it's not going to be on the level of an Andor when it comes to story writing and performances and everything like that. Like, I've already accepted that I don't expect it to reach that level of high quality. And that's not what this show is. What this show does really well is it knows what it's about. It's about showcasing us the space pirates. You know, that sort of side of the universe that we haven't seen. I mean, we've seen all the other sides, basically. And we've got a little bit of the underworld and stuff like that. But this is a whole new place that we have not ventured to yet within the galaxy. So, having this surrounded by the children as well as being the main focal point and this, you know, this lore behind this planet that has great treasure that has been hidden for these purposes. I'm not expecting it to dive into something that's crazy where I'm like, that's life-changing. Like the speech that we get in Andor where you're sitting there and you're like, oh man, that's just so powerful. I'm not expecting that. What I'm expecting from this show is the increase in lore, to discover new parts of the galaxy, to have some fun, and to get some cool action sequences and stuff like that. And that's what I feel like we got here in episode 3. I mean, every theory about Jude Law being a Jedi is getting squashed every single episode now. And I've seen someone online be like, I called it. I told you he was a Jedi and that. And I was like, well, I don't even know if he's a Jedi yet. And this showcases that he's not really a Jedi. Like, he may have studied the Jedi arts or something like that. There's a potential that could happen. But right now, I'm about 90% positive that this guy ain't a Jedi. He obviously knows how to use the Force and stuff like that. But that's not anything out of the ordinary that we've seen in Star Wars before. We've seen Force users who aren't actually Jedis and Siths use the Force before. So that's not out of the realm of possibility. But I'm loving the dynamic with Jude Law's character, who we finally find out is Crimson Jack. That's his actual name, which is a sick pirate name. You know, you got Captain Jack Sparrow, you got Crimson Jack here. So I like that. And we're starting to learn more about him. And the chemistry he has with the kids as well is hilarious. There's a lot of fun. And I love the start of the episode when they get out and you have little Wimp, who is fanboying so hard right now because he thinks he's met a Jedi, and he's just in amazement when Jude Law's character's like, oh, someone's coming around the corner, and someone comes around the corner, and he does this thing where he throws, I think, a rock or something like that to distract the guards and stuff like that. And this little kid is just fanboying right now. He is just over the moon because you remember he's from this little planet, and even in this episode he says, when they're like, what's this planet like? He's like, it's boring. Because that's all he knows. It's boring. Nothing happens there. It's supposed to be like a utopia of a planet. Everything runs and functions properly, as we see in there. And it's just a boring place to them because they haven't been outside of it. So when they're getting this knowledge of there's 10,000 worlds, everything like that, they're like little minds are exploding because they're like, what? This is insane. There's so much that they haven't discovered or anything like that. So I'm loving that dynamic, the fanboying. I'm loving how then the two girls don't trust him. There's something about him that they don't, feel comfortable with, which is honestly understandable when you're meeting someone like this. You've just been thrown in a cell in the pirate thing, so you had all that. So I'm loving that dynamic. I think that's one of the fun elements there. It really is a lot of fun. And obviously we're starting to understand that Crimson Jack will do anything he can to get his hands on this ultimate prize. And this episode all but confirmed that he is the guy with the helmet in the first episode, basically, because obviously he was captured and put there, and we saw the guy that captured him in the first episode there. So there's that. But I really enjoyed the moment where when they're flying the starship out and it's attached to the actual fuel line. And I love that idea where he's just like doing that. And then, isn't it dangerous if we go into hyperspeed with something attached to us? They do it anyway. And this thing comes back. And visually, it was great. It came back and it just wipes out everything in its path. And I was like, that's freaking awesome. So you had moments like that where it looked fantastic. When they're on the moon, I love the imagery of the planet in the background. I thought that was great. I'm loving the design of the little owl person as well. That was cool. So there's little lore things here and there that I'm really, really enjoying. Like the whole stuff about Adar, I think it is. I think what's the planet's called? The whole lore behind it and how it's there, and they don't know about the war. They're like, we learned about Coruscant and Alderaan, and it's like, oh, so you don't know about the war because Alderaan got destroyed in the New Hope. So you have them basically being in this little bubble, and what is the purpose of that planet? Like, what is it? And they start, they're dropping little hints about there. So there's something about that planet and everything what people work towards and stuff like that. What is the ultimate thing about that planet? So I'm very interested to see what is going to go on with that. A little thing I had a question mark about is when they're on the moon itself, when they're on that moon and they're walking on the moon surface there. Now, look, it's Star Wars. It's supposed to be fantasy and stuff like that. And, it's not supposed to follow real world logic where it's like if you stepped on the moon, you'd die and float and all sorts of stuff like that. But that's kind of, I don't know. Does it have an atmosphere? Does this moon just have an atmosphere there and gravity where they just stay in there? Or, because there was no real bubble or anything that we saw. Because I remember seeing one on is it asteroid or a moon? Something like that in Revenge of the Sith when they're coming in to that thing and there's like a bubble over it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was a bubble on there of the city and stuff like that, so they could walk in and out and stuff. And we see people in the spacesuits and stuff like that. Anyway, so how were they able to walk? That's what I want to know. I want to know how they're able to walk on there. And so that's like little nitty gritty things where it's kind of like, But like I said, this isn't supposed to be Andor or anything like that. So I'm kind of going to let it slide for now. It's just one of those inconsistent things where it's like, okay, it's just a convenient thing that doesn't make any sense that I'm just going to have to accept when it comes to this sort of show. But overall, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. It's a breath of fresh air. It's something different. It's tackling pirates and stuff like that, and I'm liking that. And I'm interested to see where we're going to go. I think the lore behind this planet, Adar, whatever it's called, is very interesting. So let me know what you guys think of episode 3. Did you guys enjoy it? Smash it down in the comment section below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe, and peace out.